Alright buddy, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how to hook up all the sliders onto these seats and how to install those sliders on and the bottom plate to put the seats into the RSX. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and show you guys step by step on how to do that. It's okay, it's kind of complicated if you don't know how to do it, but once you do one you can pretty much do the other one. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and flip the camera and show you guys on how to install that, and hopefully you guys enjoy this and hopefully it helps you guys out. And then I'll also show you how to install them into the car, which is fairly easy. Alright, so I'll go ahead and flip the camera and show you guys that. Alright, so we got the seat. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to flip this bad boy upside down. Hopefully, let me check, see if you guys got a good view. Move in a little bit. Alright, so yeah, so whenever you buy the seats, you basically got these 4 bolts which you're going to mount your plates to. So you go ahead and pull these out. It's got washers, keep the washers. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and install the bottom sliders. The first thing we're going to do is when you do these, you got to make sure, figure this out again, okay. Make sure this flat side is on the bottom and the side right here is on the top. Now when it comes to these when you push down is what releases the slider to slide up and down. So, and then you want these parts right here to face inside because these are where your little knob's going to go to adjust the slider. So you're going to want these to face inside like so. And just put them on. Okay, pretty simple. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to install top ones and then install the bottom ones. And the reason for that is because on the top of the bracket you got these adjusters. I mean, you got these holes where you can adjust up and down where it can move. So you want to make sure you install the top ones first, make them loose, that way you can adjust it, and then tighten down. Then tighten down the bottom ones tight, and then come back and redo the top ones. Yeah, so you'll just push that down, slide this down to where you get access to the hole. Now you want to check it out beforehand to see where your holes are going to match up, because they're kind of universal, so they have different hole settings. You know, you got 3 hole settings here, 2 hole settings here. So you just want to kind of match it up to see what holes you're going to go in. So basically I'm going to be using the top one and the top one here. So yeah, let's go ahead and install that. Alright, so you're going to take your washer and your nut, or your bolt, washer and bolt. You're going to slide the washer on, line it up, put the bolt in. So just do it, leave a little bit of play so you can slide it up and down, like so. And go ahead and do the other side. Like I said, make sure these point inside, flat side on the bottom, this side on top. Make sure this piece right here is pointed towards your front so that when you push down, you'll be able to slide this. Right there. Put that in. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the bottom bolts. So, or actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and you can push. Actually, you know how to put this in after, because with these, when you set them in, you got to make sure that this part that goes up is going towards the part where you sit, so that when you push up, or when you push down, it makes those sliders come, or slider. But for these ones, I noticed on the first one I did, I do have to modify these a little bit. I have to put a little bit of bend to them, because when I put it on here, there's just not enough room to push up on it to make these things slide. So I got to put a little bent to these to where it gives it a little bit more room so it's not sitting on the bottom of this chair. So I'll go ahead and put that on after. Alright, now on the bottom one, so you can go ahead and push this in, slide that up. And you go ahead and put the bottom ones in. These Braum seats seem pretty good, but I will knock them because they don't actually really match up too good with the holes on the bottoms, and because these got to modify a little bit, I will knock all that. I mean, just little minor modifications, I guess, to stuff. Isn't too bad, but they could have done better. I mean, again, I only paid $600 for the set. You know, you pay for what you get. Buy expensive, everything pretty much matches up better. But, you know, we bought these and just gotta deal with it, I guess. Like right now, what I'm having a problem with is the hole's not lining up too good, and it's already setting. It's already adjusted as far as it can go. So let me go ahead and turn this off and see what I can do. Okay, so for this one, I had to actually use the bottom of the 3 holes. And then also on this part up here, if I can do this with one hand. Yeah, like I said, when buying seats, you know, sometimes you got to modify them a little bit or do them different, but as long as they work, that's what all that counts. Now when you tighten these up, you probably want to use a wrench. Use an impact gun. Don't put too much torque on it because then you probably break the weld nuts on the backside. So just, you know, hit it a little bit and then come back with your wrench. But that should be good. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about when I put the slider arm on to adjust it. Why doing what it's doing. Why I gotta adjust it a little bit. So yeah, so you're gonna want to put, oh shit. Yeah, you want to put it so like that. Basically want the part that scoops to scoop towards the top of the seat. If that makes any sense, but yeah. You'll go ahead and slide those in the holes. And then you'll just go ahead and bend this up until you get into the holes on this one. And then I'll go ahead and show you guys. See, as I am pushing this down, it's hitting the bottom of the seat. So in order to adjust these sliders, this has got to be forced down more for these sliders to be released. And right now, it's not doing it. So I got to take these arms off and put a bend to them, which I'll probably bend them up. That way it gives more clearance towards the bottom of the seat, so when I push this lever down, it makes it to where these slide. So I'll come back after I got these bent. I was going to basically stick them in a vise and put a slight bend to them, and then I'll show you the difference. But yeah, as you can see, you can't push down to release these things, release these slider parts so that it slides, so I got to put a bend to that. Alright, so I got the bend to it. Hopefully it's enough. Thinking I might have to do a little bit more, but we'll go ahead and check it out. See what it is. There it is. Worked out pretty good. So as you can see, right here it clears pretty good, so that when you push down, it makes it where these sliders can slide. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, it worked out pretty good. Like I said, with this setup with the Braums, like I said, I paid $600, the lower end ones. A little bit of modifications, a little bit of adjusting. Like I said, the driver's side is different than the passenger side, but it all works out. And now we're gonna go put them in the car. So let's go ahead and do that. So I do got it. Oh shit, I already did it. Okay, so I already installed the bottom plate on this one. This is the driver's side. Same thing, you're just going to line up the holes where you're going to put these bolts, nuts, and washers, and then just tighten them down. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the other seat, and then we're going to go ahead and put this one in. This should be driver's side. These are planted. These are planted seat. What the fuck are these called? These are planted seat brackets. I'm like off today. Anyways, planted seat brackets. They're about $100 to $200 for the RSX. If you look on them, they say driver's side or passenger side, so can't get those mixed up. But you got all the different holes that varies for the install for the seats to go on, different kinds of seats. So yeah, so those are already mounted. Like I said, just put bolts, nuts, bolts, washers, put it in, and then we'll go ahead and move over to the driver's seat, and I'll take that out, and then we'll pop this bad boy back in. All right, when you're installing the plate, the bottom plate, you need to put these go in first, and then you got to put the washers and then put the nut. The reason for that is if you don't, on this back one, this nut will stick out farther than this bracket, so when you go to put this in, you won't be able to put this bolt in because that nut's sticking out farther. So you got to make sure you do it like that. So make sure you put the spacer there. These ones are a little bit of pain in the ass to get to. You use an L-shaped Allen key, probably the best way. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. You'll go ahead and tighten these ones up as tight as you can, then slide it back, and then work on the back ones. So yes, so remember, put the spacers right here, or these will be too long to clear for the holes to mount up. And the reason I know that is because I did the driver's side like that. If you look back on the video, you'll see that I have the spacers here. So I gotta go back and switch those around, which is no biggie. But yeah, something to think about or do before you install it. Put these spacers down here, or else you won't have clearance. So yeah, so there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up, and then flip the spacers for the driver's side that I messed up on, and then we'll get back to putting them back into the car. So yeah, I've been fumbling right now, but I got it all down now. So yeah, another thing is I might have to bend one of these tabs because they're not lining up that good, so I might have to bring it forward a little bit, that way it lines up good. But we'll see. I'll see once I mock it up again. So yeah. Alright, so it is a 14. You're going to need a 14 wrench for the back side because there ain't that much room, and extension just in case. That one's busted, damn it. Anyways, an extension too. So I'll go ahead and take the open wrench and hit this back one. Yeah, so you'll go ahead and loosen all those and then pull the seat out. Go ahead and put you on a time lapse. That way you're not watching all this. Alright, so once you got all the 4 bolts out, this bad boy's ready to come out. Now on your stock seats, you're gonna have goddamn safety hookups. They're usually yellow for your airbags, for your side airbags and stuff like that. So you're gonna want to disconnect those, disconnect everything underneath. I'm sorry I don't have that to offer you guys, but there's plenty of DIYs on how to do those and how to bypass the airbag system with the paper clip. Go ahead and check those out. So, but this is pretty straightforward, just in and out seats. But for the stock seats, it'll be a little bit different because you got to do the, you got to disconnect the airbag plugs and bypass them. So yeah, this bad boy's ready to come out, just like that. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're gonna want to take off the seat belt thing too, because that's gonna mount to the bracket on the new seats. That is a 14 too. Yeah, so you're also going to have a yellow wire that's connected. Let me get you in here closer to check it out real quick so you guys know what I'm looking at. Yeah, so you're going to have this yellow wire. Anything you see that's wrapped in yellow is usually going to have to deal with safety or something like that, airbags, seat belts. So anyways, you got this clip right here. Gonna go ahead and pop this clip off. Let's see what we got. So we got 2 of them. We'll have to pop both of them off, and then that should just disconnect this. So yeah, so go ahead and pop these 2 off. I'll do that real quick. Can't do it with 2 hands or 1 hand. All right, so once you got those 2 clips, yellow and gray, detached, this is detached and ready to put on the new seat. Pretty simple with that. So yeah, the seat is coming out. This seat will be going into the red RSX for my racing seat. That way I don't have to buy another one. Yeah, there that is. I'll go ahead and hook it up, mount this up real quick. It's pretty simple. It's 1 bolt into the side of your bracket, your planted bracket, and that's it. And then I will go ahead and put this seat back in, hook these connectors up, and then that'll finish up this job. And then pretty much take that one out. So I'm just going to do this one. It's the same thing with the passenger side, same exact thing. So whatever you do to the driver's side, you'll do to the passenger side. So yeah, I'll get back to you. So yeah, so you'll just mount the seat belt just like that to your new bracket. Keep in mind that when you get your new brackets, your stock brackets have a welded nut, so you'll probably either have to go out and buy a 14 or whatever you got to do to get a nut. But yeah, just keep in mind that your brackets probably won't come with your hardware won't come with a nut for this seat belt, so you need a 14. So keep that in mind. All right, seat's going back in. Alright, so once you get the seat, you're going to go ahead and line up this hole, the one back there and the one back there I'll show you once I get to, but we'll go ahead and drop these bolts in. Let's see. Kind of got to push down on it, line it up like so. Once you get it going, move on to the next one, which is right there. Then I'll go ahead and tighten those up, and then we'll jump to the back ones. Oh yeah, and then go ahead and make sure you hook up the wires again, the 2 plugs, and tighten up the seat belt. Yes, I'll go ahead and tighten those up, slide the chair up, and then show you the 2 back ones. Alright, so those 2 are in. Go ahead and slide this up. Take this back. Hopefully it goes up a little more, which I don't think it does. Oh, bitch. Anyways, so yeah. So I ain't got much room, so I'll go ahead and install those. Alright, so I got this one in. This back one, you're going to have to use a wrench and slowly tool it on. That one back there, I have not got it on yet. I got to take and cut that bolt a little bit, because where that bolt screws into, the top bolt is literally like, it's almost in the way. I can't even get a wrench in there or nothing, so I'll have to cut that off a little bit. That way I can get my socket in there and screw that in. So I'll do that later, but it's pretty much in. Now I'm going to work on the passenger seat, and then that'll be that. Alright, so everything is installed. There they are. Everything's functionable. Lines down, slider works. So yeah, so there they are. Pretty nice. And now the car is filthy. It's got ash all over it. I live in California and we got fires everywhere, so there's ash. I'm gonna go clean it up this weekend. Anyways, so yeah, there they are. Pretty nice. Alright, so that is done. Alright, so I got the Recaro. I just put it in, hand tighten the bolts into the red RSX and the seat for my passenger when I'm racing. Just joking, ain't gonna be no passenger seat, I'm just storing it there. Anyways, yeah, so this will be the seat for this car. It's kind of cool because I didn't have to buy one. Basically took it out of the black RSX. So yeah, starting to look kind of like a car now. Now that I got everything done, I'll give you a quick little thing on, you know, the installation, what my thoughts, and the hardware and all the stuff that they gave me. So the seats, we got the seat, basically one of the bolts that comes off the main seat that you hook up to your slider. The inside, it was broke, but I managed to get it fixed and get that put in. So I knocked that because, you know, we got it brand new and it had a broken bolt on, or a broken nut on the other side inside. Hardware, it was missing all the nuts to put the hardware onto the plate, to put the sliders onto the plate. So no, I mean, no biggie. Went down the hardware store and got some more, but the fact that it should have came with it since it already had the bolts and washers. Sweating. Another thing I would knock is probably how long the bolts were putting them in. I had to cut 2 of them because the nut to go into the main body, the bolt was right in the way. It was too long, you know, in order for me to fit a socket on it. So all in all, if I was to rate it, I would probably give these seats maybe a 7, maybe a 6. Considering the price that I only paid $600 for both seats, I'd give it an 8. But for quality and hardware, you know, you pay for what you get. So if you're gonna ever go for seats and you want something cheaper, expect to, you know, do a little bit of modifications or anything, you know, cutting bolts, buying hardware, shit like that. But if you're buying expensive, you know, up to the $900,000 range, I'm pretty sure the hardware and all the machining is probably going to be done pretty good. So on that note, that's what I have to say about those. But they're good, they'll work. So yeah, if not, we'll upgrade later to some new ones, or better ones, better quality ones. But for now, they're good. Better than what that Recaro seat was in there, because that Recaro seat I couldn't get my fat ass in it, man. It was way too skinny. So that's why that's going in the race car, because I only got to do a quarter mile. So yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. So that concludes this video for the seat install, Braum. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. I'll do a review video maybe a couple months down the road, just to see how they feel or something like that, and give you the insight on them. Yeah. So on that note, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and KL Day, and stay tuned for the next one.